Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by the Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Women's Lacrosse with a rather large game this week. 4:15 for the opening draw control this Saturday afternoon at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium as they take on the Black Knights of Army. Pleased to be joined by Alyssa Daley. And Alyssa, every time I speak to one of our draw control specialists, as I like to call you all through the years here, there's such an art form to the draw control. You've got a referee with a keen eye, hands. You're gonna wait for them to back out of the way. The anticipation of the whistle being blown without giving away obviously any trade secrets, because we don't want to give away anything to the Black Knights coming up this week in terms of espionage. But just as a draw control specialist, what are the challenges going into this each and every week to make sure you give your team the best chance to get the draw? Because with the ball obviously comes opportunity.
Yeah, I think with every game, the biggest challenge is just that every single draw is going to be different. Every draw taker is different. So it's kind of hard to anticipate where the ball is going to go every single time. And obviously with different refs, they set the ball in different ways. They move the sticks differently. So every single draw is truly original in itself. And it makes it a little bit hard to guess where the ball is going to go or like put the ball where you want it every single time. But I think that just comes with reps and practice and like scouting and making sure we can do our best to try and anticipate where the ball is going to go and how the set's going to look each time.
What's the difference with the sticks now, more specifically for draw controls? How big of a change has that been?
It's definitely been a big change for me since coming from high school and like through the years. It's the new technology. I feel like now it's a lot more of like having some edge to scrape the ball out, whereas before draws used to just rely on strength and muscle, and now it's not as much like how big your stick is or how deep the pocket is. It's like truly the mechanics of the stick and like how the little edges can like dig the ball out the best. So now you would see probably most draw takers use a different stick to take the draw than they do to play with, because of where the pocket's located would make it hard to shoot.
Obviously, this is a unit too. I mean, it's not just you out there, especially for the most part with Emily and Michaela out there. As a unit, what are the things you all talk about and even during the game, I'm sure adjust during the game depending on what the opponent is doing as well. But how great is that communication and sometimes maybe even that silent communication between the three of you?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, the draw is nothing without the circle people. Like we couldn't do anything without each other, but the communication piece is huge. I think me and Emily have like a good silent communication thing, and like we've been playing together for a while now, so I can just kind of give her a look and she'll know, and she's normally lined up in front of me, so it's easy to do that. And with Meeks coming in this year, we've all just like gotten to trust each other a lot with our abilities. So we're constantly talking to each other on the circle about location, the set, who's the ball, like where your players are, all those things. Like it's constant communication that makes us successful. And without that, I don't think we would do as well as we have been. But yeah, the communication between us and just trust in each other is key.
Trusting each other has really been a big thing for you all because you all got dealt incredibly bad hands before the season ever started. Two captains who can't participate, your leading scorer and creator out there, and yet you all have said, okay, no problem. We'll handle it. We'll adjust, but we'll handle it. What's the feeling been like in the room as this season has gone along? Because a lot of teams would have folded under the loss of that quality, yet we find out in your room that there's even more quality in there, and it's really shown so far this year as you guys are 4-1 in the league heading into this big game with Army this week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was devastating, and it always is anytime one of your teammates gets hurt. And I think we've kind of just used that as fuel. Like if they can't be out there, even though they want to be, like we're gonna do it for them. And I think that's driven a lot of people on our team to rise to the occasion and put in the extra work. Like no one works harder than like anyone on our team, and they're constantly out there like putting in the reps to get better. I think that's like brought a lot of people to the service, and they've really like succeeded and shown through. But yeah, I think we just use it as fuel and we play for them more so now. And like they cheer us on. And it's just like the bonds that we all have together that really like pushes us and like fuels us forward, I would say.
To be able to see, and I know, for people that maybe don't understand sports, they probably don't get it. But 2 weeks ago, to be able to see Lily and Katie go out on the field, even if it was for just 90 seconds, just so they could participate in senior day, with their teammates. What kind of a rush does that bring to two players who care deeply about the program, try to lead you as best as they can, even though they can't play? But to be able to see them go out there, what did that mean to this group?
I just think it shows their dedication and commitment to us. And like you said, like it's a huge adrenaline rush, like for them and for us. And like for us to see them and have them lead us this entire season and this entire year so far, to see them like willingly go out there and show like how hard they've like want to be out there with us, that like they'll go and they'll take that extra second with complete like composure and happiness and joy. Like they're not upset that they can't play. Like they just exude happiness and they spread that love to everyone. And when we got to see them go out there, I think it just reminded us of how hard we work for them and how hard they work for us. And that like even though they can't play, like they are still extremely dedicated to our team. So it was really awesome to see them get out there for those like final minutes of the game.
This is a long grind, Alyssa, especially at this level. I mean, this is the best of the best at this level. When you start out, in the fall, people really don't even see a lot of that stuff and all the work that you all are putting in back then. But to play this game with some joy and to stay positive, because it's hard. Winning is hard. But to have that kind of attitude, is that what helps maybe get you all through this long grind of a season, is trying to be as positive as possible? Because, I mean, look, we all know losing stinks.
Mhm.
Fortunately, you all don't do it very much. Every time you've bounced back with incredible authority as the season has gone along. But is it hard to stay positive every single day, and having teammates that try to bring that joy all the time might lift you up on a day where things maybe aren't necessarily going as well as you'd like them to?
Absolutely. I think especially here, like it can be really hard to stay positive and like bring that energy every day. But it truly is our teammates. I mean, we tell each other that almost every single day, how like you light each other up, we make each other better, and we make each other want to come out here every single day. Like it's the people. And I don't think anyone could do this if it weren't for like the people that we have standing next to us. I mean, it's our best friends and losing sucks, but at the end of the day, when we're on the bus together or on walking back from practice together, I don't think you can have a conversation without laughing or cracking jokes or having some kind of positive outlet there. And that's what keeps us motivated. And at the end of the day, we always have something like that, like keeping us grounded and keeping us wanting to go move on to the next thing and come to and meet that with a positive attitude and really just have all that energy.
For anybody that's never attended an Army Navy women's game, just kind of put in perspective for them. I know the rivalry's only been short, obviously, between the sides since Army just recently added it. But can you kind of take people inside just how intense and one heck of a game this is going to be coming up on Saturday? Because both of you are really good lacrosse teams.
Absolutely. This is going to be, I mean, there's no game like Army Navy. Every single time, the intensity is next level. People bring their best. The fans bring their best. It's honestly surreal when you have two teams who stand for so much more than themselves, and they come together and they want to put their best foot forward, and obviously come out as the victors of the game. But there's nothing compares to an Army Navy game, and especially women's lacrosse, in my opinion.
No doubt about it. 4:15 coming up Saturday afternoon in the Cathedral Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium coming up this week. Alyssa, appreciate you taking the time for us today. Best of luck to you and your teammates on Saturday.
Of course. Thank you.